compound. See some tigers, Pete's. Pete's. Hi, Ezzy. Hi. Hi, mister. Oh, my goodness. Chatty Ezzy. Little Mr. Ezra. Oh, are you chatting too? You having a back and forth conversation? You receiving mentorship? Yeah. You know, like this is what it means to be a tiger. Here at Care. I think that's what Luca. Luca's representing, the old guard. He's imparting his wisdom upon Ezra. Because the children are the future. And Luca knows that. Children are the future, and we have to make sure that we're taking the time to properly steward and mentor our youth. That's important. It's very important, and I do believe in those things, those concepts very much. So thank you, Luca. Thank you very much for carrying the torch, so to speak. It's a noble cause. So, with that, what sort of things do you think that Luca and Ezzy talked about, huh? What sort of great wisdoms do you think that Luca imparted upon Ezzy? And I'm going to add a caveat, okay? Nothing about rabbits. Nothing about rabbits. Because that's obvious. That's too easy, okay? I'm sure that some of you are just like, no rabbits. You've got to dig a little bit deeper than that, okay? You've got to be a little bit more, kind of creative. So let's say, that Luca, who, let's not forget, he is, in fact, indeed, a middle-aged tiger. As far as tigers are concerned, he's probably in his, mid-late 40s. Pushing 50. Something like that, Yeah, that's where he's at. That is where he's at. So, Ezzy, mid-late teens, something like that. So you got to sit there and think maybe what middle-aged Luca, guy in his 40s, going on 50s, would be telling, a teenaged Ezra. No rabbits. Schmutz. Yeah, gotta avoid the rabbits. This is a challenge for you, because I know that you're better than that. Anywho, hello, all of you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek, again. Welcome to another super duper fantastic episode of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. Hi. It's about noon right now. It's about noon on a Sunday. A little bit breezy, a little bit warm. Sunny. So it's definitely good sleepy time weather for the kitties. I'm not anticipating a lot of activity, but I am going to do the same filming thing that I did for the last webcast, and actually what I, sort of did for the fancy cast, where I'm going to do a little bit more kind of hop, skip, and jump around, gather my thoughts, concentrate on, activity, visual activity, what is going on here. Not so much worrying about filling in space back here. Okay, I'm actually going to start out here so that you can so we can kind of slowly transition into this. Because one thing I guess I got to take into consideration when I do stuff like this, when I'm jumping back and forth, making those quick cuts, if I go from, especially auditory, if I go from one area that's relatively kind of quiet and peaceful, not very loud, and then I immediately edit myself into an area that's just got a lot of ambient noise and I have to talk a little bit louder. Well, especially for you headphone users, that can be quite jarring, and not of the Mason variety. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Cassie. Hi. Hi, baby. Hi, Shinpai. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. You okay, sleepy? You sleepy? What about you? Seems like we're going. I think she's just kind of sleepy. Okay. There's Mr. Ace. He's in there. There's Miss Selena. She's over there. This is so much easier. Shanti. Pawi. Shanti. Solano. Hi. How are you? Hi, mister. What's up? Do you have any news for us? Anything to say? The world is waiting for your wisdom. They want it. Sometimes yawns are accompanied by moos, but not today. Not today. You know, sometimes you just want to eat cake. You know, sometimes you just want to eat cake. You don't need to know all the time how the cake's made. You just want to eat the cake. A lesson in brevity, conciseness, get to the pointedness. Sometimes a verbose journey is the way to go, and sometimes I just want to eat cake. What are you talking about, Derek? What do you mean? It's just something that popped into my head. It has nothing really to do with much of anything, but just a concept. It's something that, actually, something that a pilot once told me. It was a great bit of advice. It was a great bit of advice. I was giving this individual a weather forecast. He was planning a flight and relatively young in weather forecasting career. And I was giving all of these different things about the technical bits and pieces of how the circulatory patterns were coming together and why they were going to be causing certain hazardous conditions. And how the weather the science and the weather was doing its thing. And it was just getting overly complicated. And the thing about it, though, is that this guy didn't care. Did not care in the least. He didn't care how the weather came together. That kind of rhymed. Didn't care how the weather came together or why the weather was causing the condition. He just wanted to know about the condition. Can I fly my plane or can I not fly my plane? That's it. That's all I need to know. I don't need you need to know. You need to know all that stuff that you need to know. I don't. I just need to know, you know, that's it. And then he used the cake analogy. He didn't tell. It was the conversation that he even gave me was much shorter than the one I'm giving to you right now, because I'm just kind of elaborating on the concept a little bit more. But he said, you know what? I like cake. I like to eat it. You know, someone gives me a piece of cake, I'm like, awesome. There's cake right there. I don't need to know how the cake's made. I don't need someone to come up to me as they're handing me the piece of cake and then explain to me all the steps that they took to make that cake. I just want to eat the cake. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? And I'm like, yep, I do. Actually, it's a great bit of advice. I valued that. There's a lot of times people just want to over-explain things. Just want to over-explain. You know, coming from, I get it. Look, you don't have to point out, you know, pot in the kettle. No. I get it. But I know some people like that. They just, and they mean well, but boy, do they just, and it's not even they like to hear this. It's not so much of I don't know if it's so much of a narcissism thing with some of them. It's not so much I just love to hear the sound of my own voice. No, a lot of times it's just, I don't know if it's like they lack comfort or confidence in thinking that they're making their point. So it's like they have to keep on. And furthermore, and if we want to go further into the concept, and if we want to really kind of hammer this point home and articulate, and then they repeat things, and then, you know, it's like, all right, we get it. Hard lessons. You got to be kind of conscious of that stuff. Conscious. Hi, mister. How are you? Oh, BT dubs, these guys they're put back together. And it's been going decently, so yay. I don't remember exactly what, I talked about this even on the Fancy Cast. I don't remember if they were actually in the same enclosure during the last Fancy Cast, but by the time, the last Walk Around the Compound webcast, this is the Thursday cast. I'm talking about the Tuesday cast. I don't know if they were in the same space. I mean, they had access to each other, but I don't know if they were in the same geographic space on the Tuesday cast. And if they were, some of you were probably looking at that and then just being just like, Derek, they're together. I thought that you were saying that they were like fighting and that this is going to be a problem and it might be a more prolonged, possibly permanent kind of thing. Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about them being together? I know at least that I didn't mention any of that. Didn't talk about it. So if they were in the same space and I didn't say a peep, I apologize. Yes, Heidi did put them back together. She put them back together. And we're just trying to be a lot more I think that there's some, well, Heidi made the point, and I would have to concur with her assessment, and we think a major contributing factor to some of the instability dynamics that we were witnessing was some food aggression. Some food aggression issues. Which means that more than likely whenever we feed them, and this is great because they've got the 2 separate spaces that we can lock them into. So possibly when we feed from now on, we're just going to put one cat in one place and then the other cat in the other place, and they'll just eat separate. And then once they're done eating, the next morning we'll just put them back together. See? Easy. And then it's not just the food aggression things, but then sometimes you'll get issues with cats hoarding over food, and then you'll get one cat trying, it's like, well, I'm hungry and I need to eat, and then the other cat's just like, I am the lord of the food. The food lord. And they hover over it, and the other cat tries to go up and stake a claim, and then it just creates just this kind of weird energy, and yeah. And just stuff that you want to avoid. And that seemed to be more like some of that stuff seemed to be a little bit more of a recent development. Now, I think it's mostly Nadal. He's always had some issues with, like, hey, these are my proteins, get away from my proteins. I would really like it if I could just have all of the proteins. He's always kind of had that a little bit, but I think it just kind of got ramped up a little bit more. Sometimes it's like they just become grown-ups. They become more grown-up, and then it just changes. And it's like, look, you could have a kid that's got a bit of a hothead, maybe he's like 15, 16, and he's trying to throw punches at people, and then you're like, oh, okay. Then that same kid, now he's 30, throws it's like, could have like similar mentality. Now he's throwing punches, and you're like, okay, this is a problem. Yeah, your musculature and your skeletal structure is significantly different. Hi, baby. Hi. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Yeah, it's funny. I absolutely know that me right now, the 33-year-old Derek, could beat the ever-loving piss out of the 17-year-old Derek. No question. No question. Even though technically the 17-year-old Derek was probably throwing up a few more numbers, in the weight room, it didn't matter. And the only reason is because I highly prioritized that activity. I was in football and stuff like that. So yeah, you did a lot of regular weight training, but I don't do so much traditional weightlifting as much as I do, because I do like a lot of jiu-jitsu, and then of course I do a lot of farm work, and I've gained just a ridiculous amount of functional muscle and grip strength and just different things like that. Oh, pro tip, you ever got to grab someone, grab someone by the shirt or something like that, just, for whatever reason. Sometimes you gotta. You don't want to use these fingers, okay? These fingers, no good, no strong, okay? It's these ones right here. These 3, that's where your actual grip strength is. Okay? You try to prioritize, like, hey there, mister, I'm gonna put my clamps on you. That'll just come right off. But these ones, yeah, they're gonna have a hard time. They're gonna have a hard time breaking that. Hi. Hi. Hello. Test. Gonna scratch your back. You won't even let me. She's like, she got up faster. I didn't even touch a single fair fiber. A fear fiber. Oh. Curl lip. Hi. Taking my sunglasses off. I know. Hi, baby. You're a good girl. Yeah, okay, I know. I am probably annoying you. I am probably being just annoying. Too much. Too much. I mean, imagine that though. Imagine like if you're just kind of sleeping on the couch and then just some, you know, energetic fella with a smartphone just comes up and just starts just pushing it like into you. Yeah, no, you'd be like, what are you doing? Get away from me. Get away from me. Hi. Hi, Rasa. Hey, pretty girl. How are you? Both girls. Very pretty. Very pretty. Some might say the prettiest. Oh, got a bit of a head rush. Layla. Let's see if we can get Mita Pita to come back over here. She seemed like she was in a good mood. She seemed like she... Here she comes. Here she comes. Hey, pretty girl. Hi. Ooh. Hi, BB. Hi. Gosh, you're so pretty. I mean, just truly. And that's not even... Because, of course, like, they're all pretty. You're all pretty. She's... Yeah. No, girl, you're beautiful. We all know that lie. But, no, Melita is actually like, geez, like you are. Truly stunning. They're all beautiful. I mean, they're tigers. It's like you gotta, yeah. It's a given. But as far as, like you're talking about here at Care, like the prettiest of the tigers, then yeah, I think that Melita would kind of get that one. She'd get that award. She seems to be paying attention to you a little bit. You looking at Mark? Yeah. It's like, what's he up to? Yeah. He's just dumping buckets. You dumping buckets? So yeah. It's part of the afternoon, like it's a daily thing. You got to go around, you got to dump all the buckets, because in the buckets, you fill up the buckets in the morning, you fill them up midday, and then you fill them up in the evening. Because the air is hot, the sun is hot, the buckets get hot, the water gets hot. We don't want the cats having to drink hot water. They should always have access to clean, cool water. Fonzie water. Uh-oh. I think it looks like Ra's probably going to have a little bit of a hey go away kind of mood. Yeah, probably a bit of a hey go away mood. That's why I'm just going to walk over here. I'm not going to walk directly at them. I'm just going to go over here. Hi. Hi, you want to come over here? Hello. Hi, mister. I'm not going to look at you. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to put my head down. You want to come over here? Yeah. He was kind of thinking about it for a little bit. He was kind of like the fog lifted for just a brief moment, and he was like, Dad? And then the fog came back, and he's just like, oh, get away. Get away, get away, get away. So, you know, that's just how that goes. It's okay. It's okay. We had a lot of good interactions this weekend. A lot of really good interactions this weekend. So that's just how the dynamic is now. So there you go. And it's weird because a lot of times if I spend, well, maybe it's not weird. I mean, I'm sure that we can just kind of really break that part down. But if I spend a lot of time, or more, if I spend time away from the facility, which of course I have to go, you know, I work out of state, so I travel, and I have an apartment, and I'm usually here 2 days out of the week, and then I'm at work 5 days out of the week. So 2 days here, 5 days there. And once I come back from my normal kind of 5-day break from care. Usually that first day, day and a half, Raleigh is just like, love, 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 dad, 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 love, 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 dad, dad, dad. But then it'll slowly, like, that'll slowly, like, taper off to, like, love, 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 like, guy, hate, hate, hate. It's, you know, that's kind of how that goes. It's a curve. It's strange. But then it's pretty much like clockwork. Every single, like, time within, like, the last 3-4 visits, it's been the same curve. It's been the same curve. It resets itself. Hi, Luca. Hi, how are you? I don't want to get too close, or if I do get a little bit closer, I want to make sure that it's just nice and peaceful. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable, especially not up here. It's important that they feel comfortable in this area. It's the area that we try to lock them up into, or we try to feed them. So letting them understand that this is safe area, and you can be comfortable up here. That's important. Hi, Lucky. Hi, Luck. Oh, don't focus on the pipe. Focus on the kitty cat. There you go. Yeah, looking good, bud. Looking good. I am guessing that Apollo is below, but this is a pretty stinking good shot of Mr. Lack. Oh, I should probably get some captures. Capture. There we go. Maybe I'll post some of those captures on the Instagram later. On the Instagram, as the kids call it. Anywho, thank you for watching this episode of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. Again, let me know if you like the format where I'm kind of jumping around and editing and doing... Well, here's the thing. I'm not actually editing. I'm just hitting... As I'm recording, I just hit the pause button. And then I walk over to another place and then I hit the pause button again. So I can do it all real time. That's actually why I'm able to do it. If I had to do all those edits together... in post... Oh boy. Again, thank you for watching this episode. Let me know what you think about the new format. If you like it, you don't like it, pros, cons, all that fun stuff. Hashtag Dorbist Award in the comment section below. As always, you can always go to carerescuetexas.com for more information about the facility that I film in, or in which I film. I'm so sorry, grammar. And I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.